Hey everybody, I am trying to get Facebook set up and I will be doing it simultaneously from both. So if I'm looking at two screens, forgive me. I'm trying to make sure I see everyone. Hey y'all, hey everybody. Thank you guys for joining. I see my sisters on here, my cousins. I love my Impact sisters. I am so happy to see you all. For those of you who do not know, I have started my March mindset series. So today will be the first day, and today we are going to be talking about mindset shift, what that really means, what that really looks like, and how to actually do that. So every Monday in March, I am going to talk about a different topic dealing with mindset, but I am super excited to get this started. I have been wanting to do this for a very long time, and for whatever reason, God put it on my heart to do this in March, so I know it's for a reason. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Facebook, I am doing this simultaneously from Facebook and from Instagram. So I'll be looking at both cameras. So we are going to get started like really quickly. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started, and then everyone else will just catch up. So thank you guys who have joined me again. I'm super excited to start my March month's mindset series. This is going to be a great series because we talk all the time about making mindset shifts. We talk about what it means to really have a winning mindset, a growth mindset, but we often don't really know what it takes to do that and how to really go about getting that done. And so we go into the new year and we go into different phases, different seasons of our lives, super excited to make these changes, super excited to make these shifts. And then when it happens, we're like, okay, I had the thought, I had the decision to do something different, but why can't I stick with that? And so today we're going to talk about what a mindset shift really is, how to really make a mindset shift that sticks, and even talk about some of the reasons why the mindsets, the shift is not sticking with us, and we're making a mindset change. We're having a mindset thought, but we're not making a true mindset shift. And if anybody have any questions in either one of these, Facebook or IG chat, just let me know, and I will do my best as I'm manning both of these to go ahead and answer the questions. So again, so you think about mindset shift, and we hear all the time, oh, I got to make a mindset shift. Oh, I got to change my mindset. And some of this stuff starts to turn into buzzwords. And I say that because we do it and we say things and we have the right intentions, but it doesn't often turn out the way we want to because we don't have the proper tools and the proper strategies to actually make the shift. And so when you think about a mindset shift, you got to think about what that starts with. If you think about our mind, then it has to start with a belief. And I think how we get stuck is that oftentimes we look at the behavioral aspect or the thing that we actually want to do, the thing that we actually want to change, but we don't think about the mind, the thoughts, the belief that it takes for that change to stick and for that change to be consistent. So you got to think about, do I believe I'm capable of becoming who I want to be? Do I believe I'm capable of going from A to Z? Do I believe that I have what it takes to truly get myself to this place of really making a true change? Because at the end of the day, we have to understand that the behavioral aspect itself is not enough to make the shift. So I have this behavior that I want to change, or I have this thing, this goal that I'm seeking out to reach. So I write this goal down. I make a decision that I want to do the behavioral change, but I don't go with what I need and do everything I need to make the appropriate mindset change, the shift, the belief to get to where I want to go. So one of the most popular behavioral change that everybody talk about is weight loss. I want to lose weight. I'm not healthy. I have to exercise. I have to do this. I have to do that. I want to do this. I want to get to my ideal weight. I want to get to my goal weight, whatever that thing is. So you have the thought that you want to lose the weight. So what are some behavioral changes that you make? You go and you sign up for a gym membership and you say, I'm going to go to the gym and start exercising. I go to the grocery store, and on the grocery store, I'm going to start buying healthy food. So I won't buy my junk food. I'll make sure I get vegetables. I'll even get organic stuff. I'll do all these things. Okay, so now I'm going to set a time every day at this time. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to cook all of my meals. I'm going to bake everything. So you make these behavior changes and you put them in place. And you start to go about doing these things and you make the decision, okay, great. This is what I'm going to do. The problem is the weight loss is a goal that you're trying to reach, but what's underneath the weight gain? What's underneath the reason why I can't lose the weight in the first place? That's when the mindset shift kicks in and the real work starts. Because I have to understand that the thoughts and the behaviors have to match up. And so what happens is we start to diet and we start to do these certain things and we start to tell ourselves, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. But the minute stress comes, the minute a struggle comes, the minute a holiday comes, the minute it's my birthday and I want to celebrate, it makes it so much easier at that point to say, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to eat the cake today. I'm going to do whatever. Why? Because even though I made the decision to lose the weight, I didn't do what it takes to make the mindset shift to stick to the goal. Because you have to get to the point where the thing that you're trying to accomplish or the thing that you want it so badly that it doesn't matter what comes your way. You have set your mind, you set your intentions on doing that thing and making it happen. And so this is where a true mindset shift comes into play. Because now, let's go back to the weight. I no longer just want to lose weight. I also want to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and I'm looking at what's underneath why I can't stick to this goal in the first place. Do it make sense? And so we have to understand that a true mindset shift not only incorporates a thought and a behavioral change, but it's also a mind commitment. I probably just made that up, but it's a commitment that you make to yourself, a commitment that you make in your mind to say, I am going to continue to do this no matter what, because I see benefits for sticking to this thing. And so that's another thing when you think about mindset shift. Are you focused on the results solely, or are you focused on the progress and the process? Because we get so caught up into where we're trying to go and the goal we're trying to reach and the thing that we're trying to accomplish that we forget that there's a process to get to it. And so if I don't have the appropriate mindset when I'm approaching this thing, anything that comes my way would make it easy for me to just waver and fall away because I'm no longer willing to stick to this thing. And so when you think about only focusing on the behaviors, that means I'm only focusing on the results. And if I'm only focusing on the results, then I'm skipping the most important part. How did I get here in the first place? A true mindset shift helps you to look at, how did I get here? Well, first, where am I trying to go? Where am I now? How do I get here? And what does it take to break where I'm trying to go? And we got to think about, there's so many things that stop us from making a true mindset shift. There's negative thoughts. There's limiting beliefs. There's imposter syndrome. There's not being able to identify patterns and triggers that get us to this place. It's not being able to overcome past obstacles, shame, guilt, irrational thoughts, fears. All these things stop us from making the true mindset shift. And so when we think about that and we think about all those things that stop us, how do we get to a place where we're able to conquer these negative things to truly make that mindset shift? One of the biggest issues that we have is limiting beliefs. Now, again, I feel like limiting beliefs is a buzzword. And what I mean by that is because we say all the time, we hear it all the time, limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs. But what does that really mean? A limiting belief, a true limiting belief, is something that stops you or limits you, like the word said, from moving forward and stop you from being everything that you called yourself to be. Negative automatic thoughts come in our mind. We cannot stop them. That's science, that's biology. We can't do anything about it. But what happens is how that negative thought turns into a limiting belief is when we allow the thought to stay in our mind, and that thought then festers and takes on a life of its own. And now it's not just a thought. Now it's actually something that I believe. It becomes a core belief of mine, and I believe this thing. And so from believing it, I now start to walk into the thing I don't want to become. And then the more I look and the more I think about it, I'm now becoming this thing that I've been trying to avoid because I don't know what else to do. Because I've now allowed myself to believe this negative thing. And so if you're someone who's trying to reach certain heights and you're trying to reach a certain goal, you're trying to be successful, you're trying to be a better person, better mother, whatever it is, once you grab hold to these limiting beliefs, it's hard to break away from them because now they become a part of who you are. And so in doing so, you're now letting everyone see and you're letting everyone know that you believe this thing. You say, well, how? How am I letting everyone know? How am I letting other people know? You're letting them know from the way you're showing up and not showing up, from the way that you're behaving, from the way that you're talking and not talking. You are now walking into this thing that is now holding you back because you have allowed the belief to stay with you and stick with you and now become a part of you. So think about the things that you do that's automatic because that's how you were raised. You grew up watching your mother do it, your father do it, your grandmother do it, the neighbor next door do it, your teacher taught you to do it. These things are something that you just do. And before you know it, you're like, I don't know why I do that. I just always done it if somebody asked you. Or you think about one day, I always do this the same way. I wonder why. It's because that thing that was taught to you became a part of you. And now it's something that's ingrained in you naturally that I'm just now going to continue to do. It's the same thing with a negative thought that sticks with you, that festers, that you grab hold to, that now becomes a limiting belief. Because now this negative thought comes in my mind. It stays. It sticks there. I continue to allow it to stay there. I don't know how to push it out. I don't have the tools to get rid of it. So now it takes root. It lays root. It's built a tent. It's built a nest and it's staying there. And now I'm starting to believe these things about myself. I believe I'm not capable. I believe I'm not able. I believe that I am not fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe that I cannot start the business. I believe I can't do A, B, C, and D. Whatever it is, you start to grab hold of that. And now every time you try to move forward, that limiting belief pushes you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps backwards. Because you've now made the decision to partner and join and grab hold with the limiting belief rather than the empowered belief that's waiting for you to take. I've said this before when I've taught on just negative thoughts and how to overcome them and giving people tools and tips, that a negative thought turns into a limiting belief when you allow the negative thought to move into your mind rent free and start to have a party. And what do you mean by the party? Because it starts to invite all their other negative friends. So the other negative thoughts start joining in and they stay. And then some more come and they stay. Some more come and they stay. And then what happens? Now they're all in your head. You have all these thoughts. I call them the little people. All these little people running around in your mind, having a party. They got popcorn, they got Doritos, they got their feet kicked up, they're in a recliner lounged up, they watching ESPN one day, they watching Grey's Anatomy the next day, they watching the football game the next day. They having a good time, rent free. But guess who's paying the cost? You. They're living there for free, having a great time, but you're paying the high price rent. And what is the rent that you're paying? The rent is not monetary, although sometimes it is financial because you lose financially sometimes when you grab hold to these things. But you also are paying the cost of not fulfilling your dreams, settling in poor relationships, making the decision to stay at this job when you know God has called you to be an entrepreneur, allowing fear, whether they're real or perceived, fears to keep you stuck and stop in your tracks. This is the high rent. This is the cost that you're paying for allowing these limiting beliefs to have a party in your mind. Tiff, you are so funny. Yes, the popcorn. Yes, they are having a great time in your mind, grabbing hold, taking hold, doing everything that they can to stay there and be there because you don't have the strength or the tools to push them away. So you're saying, how do I do that? How do I do that? You do that by learning how to stop the thought immediately and then replacing the thought with something that's more productive. I don't care if the thing that's bothering you and that negative thought that's sticking with you, even if something that may be true, it may be factual right now. This thing isn't working out on my behalf. This thing isn't working the way I want it to. I am literally stuck because I don't have what I need to move forward. All of that may be true. But do you make the decision to grab hold of it and partner and marry the negative belief, the limiting belief? Or do you make the decision to now say, you know what? Right now, my circumstances don't allow for me to start this business. But you know what I can do? I can start to prepare for the business. So I won't just sit here with the thought and with the idea. I'm going to go research how to get started. I'm going to look at how to get an LLC. I'm going to talk to an accountant to see, should I be an LLC? Should I be an S Corp? I'm going to talk to a friend who started a business a couple of years ago and see what it took. I'm going to research other people who are doing what I'm trying to do. I'm going to reach out to them on Instagram. I'm going to send them a DM and say, hey, how can you help me? Hey, how can you coach me? How can you work with me? You see how I took that and I shifted it? And I use that as an example because sometimes the things that's stifling us is actually legitimate in the moment, but we still can't use that as an excuse to make us stop. The true mindset shift comes when, in spite of what's in front of you, in spite of your circumstances, you can still make a decision to keep going and keep pushing and keep moving forward because you have the mind to do it in spite of what's going on. You have to be committed to whatever it is that you want to do, even committed to changing your mindset. So it's March. And you know, March is college football and it's March Madness. But I'm switching it to March Mindset because we need to march into a new you. March into a new mindset. March into a new way of thinking. March into a new way of doing things. Marching to the person that you have been trying to become. And you've been either afraid to become, you don't know how to become, whatever it is, but it's time out for these limiting beliefs and these negative thoughts to keep us stuck in a place. Another thing that really causes us to be stuck outside of these negative thoughts and limiting beliefs is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is huge. For those of you who don't know what imposter syndrome is when you start to doubt yourself, not believe in yourself, not trust yourself and your abilities because you're watching what the next person is doing and because you believe they're doing it better or you can't do it as good as them or the way that they're doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it and you stop yourself from showing up. That is number one for so many people. I've done it myself. I've allowed myself to not show up from watching other people and the way they show up or not showing up doing a live because I felt like my hair wasn't right or my clothes weren't right. I didn't even care today. Not posting something on social media by looking at the next person and how they post because their stuff is better than yours. Everybody had to start somewhere. And you need to study the right people, not copy them, but study them to help you with your craft. It's not okay to have these God-given abilities and allow someone else and the way that they do it to stop you because you're not them. God didn't give it to you the same way he gave it to them. There's plenty of us that's out there doing the same thing, but God has given us different ways to do them, which is why we all can be doing the exact same job and all make money because we all got a special gift and an audience that wants to learn from us. There's a special anointing placed on you to do the thing, just like it's one placed on me. So if we are both therapists or we're both coaches, there are some people that's called to me and called to you. But if I spend all my time trying to be you, I'm going to miss the people that God has for me. We get so caught up in the way that people do things and thinking that it's the right way that we miss the way that God has for us to do it. We don't pray about it. We don't try to improve on our craft. We don't even practice. It's not okay to say, I can't do something if you never try. The saying said, nothing beats a failure but a try. You can fail time and time again, but each time you try, each time you fail, you learn something different to take to the next experience until you finally get it right. And even in those missed moments, even in those failed moments, you're still going to reach someone. Let's use Instagram, for instance, and Facebook, both of them. We get so obsessed with how many likes we got on a post, especially on Instagram, because it's mostly pictures. They like my picture. They like what I say. I didn't really get a lot of likes. I didn't really do this. I don't know if that's good. Maybe I shouldn't post. Maybe I should change. Oh, but she posted the same thing and said a little bit different and she got 2,000 likes. I got 2. So what? Just because a person didn't hit the like button don't mean, one, they didn't like it. And it also doesn't mean they didn't see it. Some people are watching you from afar. Some people are waiting to see how consistent you are. Some people are waiting to see if you're going to continue to show up. And them same people that may be liking you may not be the people that ever buy from you. But the one who didn't like and watch it from the sidelines could be the first person that call you and say, hey, can I purchase your product? We're caught up on the wrong stuff. We're so busy trying to be seen and being a copycat, a carbon copy of someone else, that we miss being authentic and who we were designed to be. How long are you going to keep allowing your mind to bully you? Are you going to keep allowing your mind to bully you to not show up? Are you going to keep allowing your mind to stop you from becoming everything that God has called you to be? We allow our minds to bully us to the point where we do not show up. And every time we don't show up, we miss somebody we're supposed to reach. I was watching Instagram Live, and this was sometime last year. It was several months ago. And there was someone I had never followed before, and I can't even think of her name right now, y'all, to be honest. But I was up super early, and she was on live at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I figured it was like a prayer or something because it was up so early. So I said, well, let me see what they're doing. And she was praying and she was talking. But she also was telling her story. And she talked about how she went through a severe depression. And she wasn't showing up, concerned about her past and the people who knew her from what she used to be and people judging her. And she wasn't showing up, and she was going through a severe depression, worried about other people. And she said that God spoke to her one day. And she said, God started calling out all these names. I'm just going to make up names. I'm Susie, Kristen, hey, Dana's on here, Jalen, Tiffany, Dee. And she was like, God, I don't know those people. And God said, exactly. She said, I don't want to get to heaven. And God named off a list of names of people that I don't recognize because I didn't show up. And because I didn't show up, I didn't reach them. There's people out here that's waiting for you. They're waiting for your gift. They're waiting for that thing you have to offer. They're waiting for you to show up. And you are the person that God has designed and assigned to give it to them. But if you don't show up, how are they going to get it? That thing was powerful to me. And it made me start showing up differently. And it made me stop worrying about aesthetics. And it made me think about anointing, wisdom, knowledge, functionality, being intentional, and being what God has called me to be. Think about that for a moment. Think about where you are in your life. Think about the things that you want to accomplish. Think about the things that you've set out to do, but you're not doing them and you haven't been able to because of imposter syndrome, because of limiting beliefs, because of allowing these negative thoughts to stay there. You have to overcome these negative thoughts and these beliefs that are grabbing hold of you if you want to push forward and really start to have a true mindset shift. The shift starts here. The shift starts with the belief. The shift starts with the thought. If you follow me, I have been doing this thing in my stories now, and I started a couple of days ago, and I'm going to do it every day, where I'm putting a daily affirmation, but I'm putting a poll with the affirmation. And some of them I'm saying, do you believe this? Do you not believe it? Some of it I'm putting 2 positive things, and I'm saying, take which positive that fits you the best. I'm doing that because we are getting so focused on the negative that we're pushing out the good. Good thoughts, for whatever reason, are fleeting, and those negative thoughts stay there and take root in our minds. If you want to start a garden or you want to plant a tree, what's the most important part of that thing in order for it to grow? The root. If you don't water it, if you don't nurture it, if you don't till the soil, if you don't go out there and tend to it every day and make sure it's okay and make sure it's properly watered so to have the appropriate nutrients to grow, it won't grow. And I'm pointing the root out because we have to understand that there is a root cause for why you're not showing up. There's something that's blocking you and stopping your mind from making that shift. So you have to do that deep soul searching, that looking within to see, what is it? Is it my past? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Do I continue to just grab hold to this stuff that's stopping me? Whatever it is, you got to identify that thing. Because if you don't identify it, it's going to stay there and you won't be able to make a true mindset shift because your mind won't allow you to make the shift. It won't make the switch. You got to start thinking about who you are, who you want to become. How do I see myself? Forget how everybody else see you. People have controlled you enough. They've controlled how you think about yourself. They control how you show up, don't show up. They've done enough. How do you see you? Because that's key. Because that is how you know if you're ready to make a true shift based on the way you see yourself. And if you don't see yourself in a favorable light, then what can I do now to really start to be everything that I know I've been called to be? So I can reach the people, again, that God have designed for me to reach and that I am assigned to reach. I'm going to end with this because I was on here longer than I thought I was. That we have to make sure that we make not only behavioral changes, but the mindset changes that go hand in hand with the behavioral changes. We have to think about long-term who I want to become and not right now who I want to be for the sake of where I am or what other people want from me. A lifetime of happiness is contingent upon lifetime efforts of putting in and pouring into yourself. You can't watch one mindset Monday that I have today and whoo, I got it. No, because it don't work that easy. It's not that quick, but it's the start. You made the decision that you believe in yourself enough to stop in here and see what I had to say. So now you got to make the commitment to do the work between now and next Monday. And then the next Monday, and then the next Monday, every Monday this month in March, to learn how to truly make the shift so that it won't be just a thing. It's something that I know how to grab hold of and grab hold to. Making the appropriate adjustments to change the way you think, to change the way you show up, to change the way you approach life is one of the greatest decisions you can make for yourself. I say often, I think, I feel, I do. And what I mean by that is I have a thought because automatic thoughts come. Based on that thought, whether it's negative or positive, either I feel good or I feel bad. And whatever I'm feeling drives my behavior, what I do. I think, I feel, I do. If I think good, I feel good, I do good things. If I think bad, I feel bad, I do bad things. Think about how are your thoughts affecting not only how you feel, but what you do. How many times in this short year of 2021 have you not shown up because of negative thoughts and limiting beliefs or a poor mindset? How many times did you make a poor decision because you've been looking and comparing yourself to other people rather than looking within and looking at how God sees you? How many times have you been focused so much on getting to this outcome that you've missed the process and what you're supposed to learn? How many times have you allowed a thing, an obstacle, stress, somebody to set you back because you focused and you zoomed in on what they said and what they felt and on the negative thing and not on the positive? Think about that, because that's key. Next week, we're going to do another Mindset Monday. So between now and next week, I want you to figure out one way for you to show up for yourself that you haven't been able to because you've allowed the limiting beliefs and the negative thoughts to stop you. Push through. Fight through it. Give yourself a win for a change. And start getting rid of these losses. And then start counting the wins. Acknowledge the wins. Celebrate the wins. We focus on the negative and we give the wins a quick yay, and that's it. But the negatives get to live in our minds for 10 years. That bad breakup was in 2002. It's 2021 and you still can't move forward. They did you wrong on your job in 2018. Now you got a new job. You making more money and you doing well, but you still mad at what they did. My mother wasn't there for me. I had to figure things out on my own. But you did it. You picked yourself up. You put yourself through college. Now you're a mother yourself, and a great mother. Rather than focused on how you've overcome, you're stuck on what you didn't get. Mindset. I think, I feel, I do. Changing how you think helps you to live in the moment, helps you to be present and not be so stuck in the past and not move too far in the future. Let's start this March 1st, today. March Mindset, March Mondays, March Mindset Mondays, to start the shift, to start to do things differently, to start to show up for ourselves differently. I challenge you guys every day to say an affirmation to yourself. Even if you don't believe it, just say it. Post them around your house. And if you don't have any, go to my stories, whether it's IG or Facebook, both of you guys, I'll put in the stories. Grab one of the affirmations that I post for you. It's time for us to start believing in ourselves. It's time for us to start showing up. And it's time for us to make a true mindset shift. I love you guys. That's all I got for this Monday. You guys can tune in next Monday. For those of you who do not know, I also have a private Facebook group called the Mindset Academy. You can click the link in my bio if you're on IG, and I'll let you in the group. And then Facebook, if you're not on it, get in the group as well. We're going to be doing this. Also, I want you guys to know Facebook, general Facebook. For the next 3 Mindset Mondays, I'm going to be doing this either through Instagram or through the Mindset Academy. So you want to either follow me on Instagram at mental_chatter or sign up for the Facebook group because it won't be on my personal page moving forward. So let people know. Thank you guys so much. You're welcome, Tiff. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to what I have to say. And I will see you guys next Monday. Same time. Let's make it a great week. Show up for yourself. Nobody can show up for you better than you. Love you guys. Let's get it.